Hello, we are home. We got in last night, picked up Mr. Clark, and got to go to Trader Joe's super early this morning. So now we've got a full fridge. Now I've got to unpack. I'm a notorious late unpacker. Surprise, surprise. So I'm gonna do a bunch of laundry, but I'm actually gonna go through my backpack and take the things out and put them back in the right place. Shout out to the Madeleines and the Kinder Buenos that I kept as my emergency snacks. Again, being pregnant, I sometimes in the middle of the night need to eat something at 3 in the morning, or very first thing, the second I wake up I have to eat something. So I had those in our hotel rooms. Hi Mo! Hi Clarky boy! This is all the laundry and the aftermath of me trying to pack, and we'll talk about that. I think I packed decently, maybe better than I usually would, but it was very challenging because first of all, I tried on all of my jeans before I left, and literally there's one black pair that kind of fits, but now it's it's on its last legs. So I'm gonna have to buy maternity jeans ASAP because I need to at least have one pair of jeans that's comfortable. And then yeah, I got all these dresses from Nuuly that are definitely better for spring, summer weather. So I totally did not look ahead at the weather correctly. We had a couple of good sunny days, so I was able to wear one sundress, but I thought I would layer the dresses with sweaters, and I didn't end up doing that because it just looks too bulky on me. But I will say I had a few MVPs that I'm so glad that I packed because I ended up wearing them all the time. One of them is this coat that I recently got on ThredUp, and I'm so glad I brought this because I brought multiple jackets. I brought my puffer, but it wasn't cold enough to need that most days. This jacket is super warm and looks nice. I feel like not that it looks French, but I feel like a nice coat is kind of a classic chic thing that you can add and throw over pretty much any outfit. So shout out to this coat. I wore it almost every day, probably. This is the Herschel backpack that I bought right before my semester abroad. So I have been using it ever since. I'm finally now seeing it's a little worn out on the straps and stuff, but I remember buying this backpack. It must have been late 2016. I think it was around $100, and at that time that was a lot of money for me, and especially for a backpack. But I remember these were very popular at the time, and yeah, I was just I need a high quality good backpack. I'm gonna be traveling through Europe, so I'm gonna need that. And you know what? This has literally been my go-to. This is my go-to airport carry-on. Great to carry my laptop and everything else. It's got a lot of space. It's just a big round, almost like a barrel design. And yeah, it was just really sweet to be oh my God, I had this exact backpack in 2017. Just full circle. We had to buy new travel adapters. So we got 2 universal ones. I swear Nathan and I both have adapters somewhere, but before the trip we couldn't find them. So we bought more, and now I need to put all my travel accessories in the same place so that we stop looking for them every time we travel. Big ass laptop. This laptop is so heavy, and here's the thing. This was our honeymoon trip, obviously, right? And I am notorious also for every single trip I say I'm not gonna do any work, I'm gonna finish all my work before, and then guess what? I have some work to finish. So then I have to bring my laptop, and this is a big 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it's heavy, and I have to bring my external drive. So it's not a very light, easy thing. I have an iPad, and I was so excited to bring my iPad to have a light little something to use, but obviously I didn't bring it because I had to bring my laptop. At first I was sad because I had to work on this trip, and I really didn't want work or a deadline to bum me out or ruin the trip at all. This was for my blonde video. I had a sponsored deadline, and I had to say yes to it because I was I need the money. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. But really, I mostly worked 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the day while we were in X during the time where we'd want a nap or, before dinner anyway. So that was nice. And then there was one night that I had to stay up until 3 a.m. finishing the video. So that was my big work day. I think I worked 8 hours that day, but still we were able to do some fun stuff during the day in between. And I'm really glad that I got that video done because I was panicking. I didn't know if I was gonna do it. I thought I'd be able to work on the plane. I said, oh, I'll get a couple hours done on the plane. And then we had a train down from Paris to X I was like, oh, I'll work on the train as well. Did not do that. It's so hard to work while traveling because I'm either just in like survival mode or I'm just so tired that I don't have the brain power to work. And the motion, the movement, the space, it can just make it really hard to work on a big chunky laptop. But it all worked out, okay? Then in the front, we have my masks and Clorox wipes. Oh, and my keys. Then inside my laptop bag, this is where I put some of my ex souvenirs from the ex Office of Tourism. Went in there, we were gonna look about like some local tours and trips and stuff, and then too many things caught my eye and I was like, yeah, I'll pick up some goodies. I love a souvenir. I got this print. I love getting prints when I travel. I got some in like Alaska. I love picking up art at the thrift store, so like you're never gonna go wrong with a little print. This is one of the plazas and it's in the classic impressionist kind of style that I love. So this will match with all my decor and I'll probably put it up somewhere in the office. Hi Nathan. Hi Nathan. Next up, a postcard of another fountain, an X. I was going to write this and send it to my parents while we were there, but I didn't do that. So now I'm gonna write something and still send it to them anyway because they like postcards. Love sending a postcard, it's so cute. Then I got this little, I think it's a fridge magnet. Same thing, they're all like similar styles. They did have other kinds of styles, like a more pen-based illustration, but again, I like these impressionistic ones. So cute. I'm like already nostalgic. It was so nice to go back. I can't get over it. Then I got a little keychain, and this is a Cezanne piece, which I'm pretty sure I have this exact Cezanne print downstairs already because Cezanne is so highly associated with X, you know, in the years since I've gotten a lot of Cezanne art pieces. And I just wanted a nice, I like this keychain. It's heavy duty, it's good for the keys. I got this exact little design though, on a coin pouch as well, which is in my purse, because I needed a coin pouch for all my little euros and my change, and that was the only coin pouch available. So I got the same design twice. I was laughing when I bought all this because it like seemed like I'm very obsessed with like a few specific designs, but I mean, I guess I am. Okay? But those stayed safe in my laptop bag, so that's good. And this is the big hunkin' heavy. I cannot explain to you how heavy this laptop is. It's great. It's heavy duty, like it's powerful. I've actually been doing most of my editing on this laptop instead of my big old iMac, which is stupid because I have this whole office and I have a desk and a chair, and instead I am always on my laptop on the couch. Luckily everything made it back. I always get so scared that somehow I'm gonna forget my laptop or like my external drive, and that would not be good. Okay, I want to show you guys the other things that we bought. Some of them are going to be in the laundry. See, this is the hard part. I've got like all this on the floor now and I should put it away. I'm like, but that's no fun. It's a lot more fun to show and tell. Don't want to put away. Don't want to clean. All this stuff, all this is clean laundry. I gotta put it away now. By the way, my hair is looking cute. I washed it this morning and it was definitely still wet when we went to Trader Joe's, but this is why I think I'm like, ooh, do I have slightly wavy hair? That was a thing related to the blonde video of like, oh, what's your natural shade? What's the difference between light brown and dark blonde, whatever. There's also that kind of discourse in the wavy or curly hair community, because of course there can be fine lines between different hair types, but I've fallen down the rabbit hole on TikTok of like, do I have like definitely not wavy hair, like the lowest type of wavy hair, because my mom has curly hair. I think her hair got curly, well, not curly, some kind of wave. Again, I don't know what type, but her hair is definitely wavy, and it got wavy after pregnancy. So I've been noticing my hair has a little bit of a wave to it. And I'm like, is this just from it being wet and sitting? But I've been wanting to get more of a wavy haircut because like I have no layers right now. And I wonder if I add more layers, if it will encourage my hair to do a teensy bit more waving. Again, I know it's mostly straight, but it's fun for me. jumping in to say, obviously I got my hair done, got my hair cut, got some much needed layers, and it is doing a teeny bit more waving. This is like many days after washing, so it's like flattened out, but there's definitely more movement in my hair, and you can see like a little teeny bit more wave going on. I don't know. If pregnancy or getting older does in fact make my hair a little more wavy, I accept. I've actually always loved wavy or curly hair. Like, my favorite hair that I see on other people is like short, wavy, like brown hair. And I know it takes a lot of maintenance and it's not like easy, but again, I think you're always jealous of what you don't have, because I mean, mostly straight hair is very convenient and it is pretty low maintenance. But I just do find wavy and curly hair to be so pretty. Okay, I guess I'll put this shit away. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, because I've tried to explain this to Nathan before, he's very much a clean immediately. He is a K-go person. One of the jobs I worked at in high school had that like policy. They were like, clean as you go, K-go. And I was like, totally. If you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean. I'm like, thank you, I'm going to die. But Nathan is just naturally, he's a very neat person, very organized. The second he gets home from a trip, he's putting laundry in. I'm like, wow, impressive. I could leave my suitcase for weeks and forget about it. But I tried to explain to him once, like, he's like, why don't you just, it's easier if you clean as you go. It's easier if you clean things right away and put them back in the right place. And I'm like, yeah, in theory, I totally understand that, but that is not the way that my brain and body work. And I tend to get distracted every time I go to do something. Like if I take my coat and I bring it to the closet and I notice something in the closet and I go downstairs and then I notice something else, then an hour later I'm like, oh yeah, I was unpacking. Oh, I was putting my clothes away. So my problem with putting laundry away is I'm looking at my closet right now and it's kind of messy, and it makes me want to like not just put the clothes away, but then I want to reorganize the entire closet. And then I'm gonna be digging through boxes and packages, and then I'm gonna be looking at my file folders, and I'm like, oh, I should organize my files and my cabinets. So that's how it gets overwhelming. And I'm like, if I had a whole day, I could spend all of today doing that, which would be kind of satisfying, but I have a lot of other things on my to-do list. So yeah, instead of being a clean as you go, like I try to clean and do a little bit of a reset like every night before bed, because like obviously you want to clear the dishes out of the sink, load up the dishwasher, like reset the living room. Those are the things I do every night just to make sure we wake up and it's like decent. But I'm a lot more of I prefer like a weekly reset. So like just naturally, this is how my office gets throughout the week. This is me trying on clothes and clean laundry and ignoring things. And then I could be like, okay, on a Saturday or Sunday, I'll take a few hours and do it all at once. I'm not good at like the incremental little bits. So I'm looking at all these piles around this office, and it does need to be dealt with. It's a mess in here. But I think doing some body doubling here. I've been watching Noah Samson's vlogs, and he's been doing similar videos where he films as he cleans, and it helps him stay motivated and focused. So I think that's what I might try to do today and bring you guys along to put the shit in my closet. Okay, so first of all, I'm wearing these overalls. These kind of still fit me. I can't really fully zip them up. But yeah, again, this is why I need the maternity jeans, because none of my pants fit me. And I'm good with wearing like sweats at home. I have one pair of sweats that I like to wear like every day. But it's also good to have more than one thing to wear, you know? I also just bought this tripod, phone tripod, finally. I've been filming like when I have like a sponsored Instagram like story or something. I've been just having to put my phone leaning somewhere, and I pop in like, hi. And this is so much better because like you can rotate it and get it at the right angle and height. And I'm like, wow, professional. It's like, this is my job. But again, Instagram stuff is so rarely part of my work. I just put it off for a long time, but this is really fun. Okay, I'm out of breath also, much more than usual, which I'll do that all day. I'll just be like, and Nathan's like, what? And I'm like, oh, just breathing. Makes it sound like I'm like sighing or I have a problem, and I'm like, just breathing. Just breathing. It's just because I can't breathe out of my nose. We all know how it goes. Okay, coat is going in the closet. Any other coats? We'll bring this one. This is my it's actually a French army jacket, I believe. This is Army Française. I don't know if there are political implications to wearing like actual military gear, but this obviously was a trend, these green army jackets. And I wore this through 2017. I wore this a lot in Aix-en-Provence. And so I considered wearing it again, but I didn't. But this is actually a great jacket. It's incredibly high quality. I still like it. It's still my style. So I'm probably gonna wear this during the transitional seasons again. Okay, where to begin? I gotta try on all my Nuuly stuff. I need to like return this Nuuly already because it's the end of the month. I don't really want to do my Nuuly revealy. Like it takes a lot of energy. It's fun once I do it, but you do have to perform a little bit and you have to like put on clothes, and that brings attention to your body and how things are fitting. So sometimes I'm not in the best frame of mind for it, especially right now where like obviously I am growing for good reason, but I'm still working through like the body image stuff, especially in early pregnancy. Cause like sometimes I'm just like letting my belly fully fly free and I'm like, this is so cute. Look at my little belly. And I guess because I'm pregnant, I'm like, oh, this is okay because I'm pregnant. I'm like, it should be okay regardless, you know? So some days I'm very accepting of it. And then some days I'm like, this is okay because I'm pregnant, but if you're not pregnant, it's not okay. And that's the toxic body image shit that I would like to get rid of. But again, I'm reminded of it like when I see my side profile or I notice how tight all my pants are. And I think again in early pregnancy, before you have like a full bumpity bump, there's like that weird in between. Yeah, I have a lot to work through with that. So this is not a complete thought. But yeah, so putting on clothes on camera can be a little hard. I don't know if you can see, but I do have a pregnancy pillow in there. McKenna gifted that to me. I haven't used it yet because I'm scared that Clark will take it over. If I put it on my bed, I think he will assume that it's his. So I need to have a strategy, and I may need to like bring it out and then put it away otherwise. This is one of my vintage sweaters that I bought for my birthday this year. And I have this nice sweater organizer, good spot for it. This is another of the new vintage sweaters. This one's probably one of my favorites. Just such a like grandpa fit. I love the colors of the yarn. There are some mystery little stains, but that's fine because it's vintage. I'm also probably gonna have to buy some new summer dresses that are just like a little more stretchy, maybe like some elastic ones. Ideally some that I can still wear postpartum. Like I know I'm gonna need some extra wiggle room anyway. So I would like to buy things that I can make use of later that aren't purely maternity. Because a lot of my dresses right now currently fit, but within the next few weeks they will not. And definitely by this summer, I don't expect them to work. That's another factor too, is like aside from like how you personally feel about your body changing, like just the pure inconvenience and cost of being like, oh no, all my clothes that I love and have curated don't fit me. So then you're like, do I buy an entire new wardrobe? I don't want to do that necessarily because you're only pregnant for so long, and maybe you might be a few times, but you know, it's just a lot to buy. But I definitely will be buying, and I'll be of course looking secondhand as well, because I do think it's important at any stage in your life to have clothes that fit you. It's very important to be able to feel comfy in your clothes. Like that is not a silly, frivolous thing. Got to keep reminding myself, it is worth it. You are allowed to buy some clothes so that you can wear things and feel good. Just found one of the new things I bought on the trip. This is just an H&M bathing suit. I don't like to shop fast fashion, as you know, but I hadn't packed a bathing suit because I'm not allowed to go in jacuzzis, and I just assumed like it's gonna be a little chilly. I don't think we're gonna be going to any pools. But we went to that incredibly nice spa and we got an hour in their like heated pool area. So I ended up having to pick up a bathing suit. Hello, distraction number one just popped up. I found my old girlfriend collective leggings. Now these are sad. These ones I bought and literally have never worn because they're too small. So I kept them in my closet for way too long. And I finally just saw them and said, let me resell those, pass them along, and then I can maybe buy. I wonder if Girlfriend Collective has maternity leggings. That would be really nice. These are also like the standard 3/4 leg, which I don't love as much. I do love a flared legging. So anyway, I'm about to measure the inseam, and then I think I'll post these on Depop. I also have this pair in navy, which I have worn a few times, but still not very much. So lightly loved, and hopefully some girlfriend fans will pick these up for me. I just remembered that I have this matching moss green bra. Pretty sure it has some deodorant marks on it. Gotta clean that. But that's cute. Can sell it as a set. I also have this older bra from one of my original girlfriend purchases, which matched with these leggings. These were really comfortable. I wore these a ton. It's a different material than this. But as you see, they get very pilly and then they start attracting a lot of fuzz. So I think what I'm gonna do with this and maybe even this bra, Girlfriend Collective also has a recycling program and I've been tempted to try it out because they'll recycle the materials and then they'll give you a credit. And again, now I'm dreaming of some maternity pants. Oh, good job, you did it. It's an hour later. I just finished my Depop listings. But see, that is how the day gets away from me. I'm like, oh, another task, another completely separate task. I've made progress on putting things away. Now I just have to get back to it. Anyway, I'm excited to resell these leggings because I just haven't worn them. And I have to accept that I'm not going to wear them because I don't reach for them. Because they either don't fit me or they're not the kind of cut I want to wear, okay? It's okay. It's okay. It's allowed. But I haven't listed anything on Depop in a long time, so I just had to like go through all their updated policies, make sure I'm making my listings correctly. Gosh, it's fun. Okay, back to it. Next up on things we bought, I brought these white platform Vans as like my main sneaker. And I got those last summer, but I haven't worn them that much, so they were like bright white, like almost like a bluish white. And I was like, they're like embarrassingly bright. They look brand new, you know what I mean? When you get sneakers and you want them to be like worn in. But I wore them and as you saw, they absolutely wrecked my toes because they just squished them all. So we went to the Doc Martens store, had to check it out. And Nathan bought me these. They're so comfy. They look like Birkenstocks, like similar to the Boston clogs, I think. So I love that style. I keep thinking of them as my Birkenstocks. And these were a godsend because they are so squishy and soft immediately. So like there's no breaking them in. So I got to wear these in the few days after my toes were injured. Wore them all around Paris as well. They even got rained on multiple times and they've been fine. Though I'm probably gonna put some waterproofing spray on them just to protect. But yeah, these have been very cozy. I can't stop because when I put them on, like they're bouncy. It's really nice. See, that's one thing. I'm surprised I didn't pack my Birks because I typically would. But I figured that it was gonna be cold and that I wasn't really gonna wanna be wearing sandals. I could have worn them at least the first few days of the trip. It was warm enough. But yeah, mostly it would have been really nice to actually let my feet breathe and not get hurt. I love how dramatic I'm being. But truly, when your toes have been stabbed and every time you put your shoes back on, they continue to stab each other, it's painful. When you're walking 10 to 15,000 steps a day, you can't be worrying about these things. I've never done like a packing recap like this before, but I feel like it's a good retrospective to remind myself for future trips to really think about things. Because this time I was trying to wear different things. Like in terms of shoes, again, I brought 3 pairs. I brought my black Doc boots, which actually were fine. Those were good. I wore them a couple times. They're a winner. They're neutral. They're good. I brought my green Aloha's loafers, platform loafers, because I think they're so cute and I don't get to wear them enough, but they're definitely not walking shoes. I wore them a few times, but once my feet hurt, I couldn't do it. Again, those Vans hurt me. I should have just bought regular slip-on Vans last summer because I love the slip-ons. Those are endlessly comfy, and even regular Vans are typically more comfortable. I don't know, maybe just the style is not as roomy. And then yeah, buying the new Docs. I don't even know what those are called. It felt crazy to have 4 pairs of shoes on a trip. I usually only take like 2 max. But yeah, note to self, in the future, need comfy sneakers. I do have comfy sneakers, they're not as cute, so I didn't want to wear them. Comfy footwear is essential. Be realistic. Ideally comfy and cute, you know? Anyway, my little mini pizzas are ready.